Hey, 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 what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again talking about Season 2 of Migration. Yes, this is for S79, so if you are someone out there who's a player, if you're a group, if you are interested in migrating to S79, Season 2 for us is going to be opening, and I would imagine for most of the trial seasons, just depending on how early they do open. Now, just to give you somewhat of a window here, Season 2 should be opening, right? Legion is going to be ending here in 6 days, right? It's going to be on 12/28 or the 28th of December, but it could end a little earlier. So we're anticipating it could end as soon as the 23rd or the 24th, just if an alliance is able to hold that Gnome Capital to get that early win or victory condition where they hold for 24 hours, and then an early winner would be declared. If it does not, then any time from that day up until the 28th is when migration would open. Now, we're hearing that there's an estimate of about 5 days, so the window is going to be pretty small from the 28th until probably, I want to say, about January, at least from what we're hearing, that it could be, what do I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're looking at about January 2nd on Sunday. Is, again, that's the rumor right now from what we've heard, is that it might only be open about 5 days. Of course, we'll follow up with more information if we end up hearing anything new, but kind of operating under that guise for now does seem appropriate. As always, before we fully dive in, make sure you guys sub, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you want to be a part of our conversation, you can join our Discord, which you'll find in the pinned comment or in the description down below. Now, to kind of give you an idea on lay of the land, right, I know I'd like to go over a few bits here, which is, again, kind of just looking at some of the general alliance power, right? I know a lot of people, they'll look at our boards and they'll notice that, the way that we do things in 79 is very different. I've actually been having quite a few kind of migration recruitment meetings with groups, individual players, over the past, I'd say, 2 weeks or so. And it's been kind of just, a lot of times you're reiterating what and how things are set up in your server. What most will notice is that our server is just very unique, pretty much unlike any other server that you're going to find, with how we have built ourselves from day one. And I think that in and of itself does add our own unique value that we're able to offer. Right, our focus really has always been from day one on KVK with a little bit of IB mixed in, honing our power balancing for the alliances to just keep creeping closer and closer and closer to more of that balance. And you can see here, right, from just the 6 family alliances specifically, right, there's only about an 11 mil gap, right, a little less than 11 mil gap, right. This was a lot wider when we initially started out, even kind of getting into the mid game, at least up until migration opened. Now we've had a great opportunity to really even those out. Even KGBF, right, one of the newer alliances that kind of came into the fold, right, even they're getting a lot closer as we've been finding them some players. Hopefully DRS will be the next one, right, that kind of gives us our nice top 8, with hopes of FAD being the 9th and then 3rd Green Alliance to have a nice 3-3-3 split. And you can see that, right, 3 of color from 1 to 3, 3 of color from 4 to 6, and then 3 of color here from 7 to 9, right, giving you kind of a nice top 9. Now, of course, I'd love to have 15, I'd love to have 20 active alliances, and we would in the server. But we kind of have to start small. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar, the way that we pretty much do migration is that if you are interested in coming as a group or a player, we, for the most part, prioritize lowest ranked alliance currently, right? So if you're a solo player, right, an example of this based on how the boards look right now is we may look to fill you into an alliance like maybe FARA, KGBF, right, possibly a little bit higher, only if, for example, like a rally leader might be needed to be filled somewhere specifically, right? Some of those factors, right, and depending on circumstances, will play into account. If you're a group, then depending on the size of your group, right, again, same thing. You would probably fill into 7 or 6, and that's because as we fill from the bottom, it will raise the power up to eventually bring a 60 or a 45 mil right up to the 70s and then eventually up to the 80s, and then you'll end up having a new number 7, number 8, right? So you're just constantly filling the bottom end, right, the bottom active end, right, because these alliances are not inactive by any means, but by filling you in there, it will turn that alliance from either semi-active, decently active, to very active. So again, it's a win-win, and for the amount of groups we've had come in, right, with the 450 plus players we had in our first season of migration across that 5-week span, which was amazing to see, right, everyone really believed in that mission, right, and in what our process, I don't know if I'd say was, because it was past tense, but what, for lack of better words, what it is again for how we do things here in 79. Outside of that, as usual, as we mentioned before, our Forbidden Zone is our PvP area. The great thing is that we pretty much offer PvP all around the map. We just do it in an organized and a controlled way, so you are able to best maximize and utilize your account. An example of this would be to say, like, let's say you want to do a 10v10 player PvP battle, right, somewhere. You can do that, right? If you want to do a alliance one-on-one, you want to do a 4-way alliance free-for-all, you want to have 2 cities that we just put neutral, or 1 city we put neutral where we have multiple alliances going at it, right, for some kind of like a mock KVK battle. We've done that. We did that before KVK for our prep. It was extremely fun. We actually had decent turnout. The difference here is that we just do things in an organized way, right? You reach out to someone, a player, alliances, as long as it is agreed upon by both parties or all parties involved, then it is okay to basically do PvP. A lot of what we really want is players to maximize what they're learning through these efforts, and then also being able to get the most amount of honor per hit when they're focusing on doing well-organized and beneficial honor trades. And that really, thankfully, allows for the players here on 79 really to not care about going to the Forbidden Zone to just do free-for-all PvP. Most people that do PvP, they ask in World Chat, they'll ask on Discord as we have dedicated channels, and they enjoy doing that outside of the fun, organized community events that we will organize as a server. Right, that's the big thing that you'll notice here in 79 is we do things as a server. Every alliance helps out another alliance, and it is truly a community here where people enjoy helping their peers, enjoy helping their neighbors. Right, we don't have a lot of that kind of individualism that you might find in a good amount of other servers, and it's mainly because of how we build. Right, when I build projects, for those of you who may have been with me in S8, if you were with me in a little bit in S6, if you were with me in S36, right, a lot of how we build things is kind of from the top down when it comes to management to make sure you have a good, strong foundation, which I know some people are like, don't you build foundations from the bottom up, boss? Well, you can. In this case, I find top down is usually best. And so, again, I'm really happy with where 79 is, how we've been progressing. I will show you guys just some of the true power stats here as well. Right, the great thing that I can say is all the players that have come in have just been absolutely fantastic, have integrated very well into the server, and are really here for what I believe to be, right, good intended purposes, which is always great when you can get that type of not only love, but just support, right, for the server and what the mission is. And so for that, our activity I think we have here is great. Along with the 450 plus players that came in, right, I imagine we're going to be trying to hit something close to those numbers again this migration season, if we're able to. Again, the window is shorter, so I probably should give more of a conservative number, but that's my hope. And as always, right, if you guys, one of the things that I'll do with groups as well is, right, speaking to players in voice. I've actually came out and spoke to groups as well, so sometimes if the group is large enough, I'll go and talk to the leadership team first, and then if they want, we'll set up a future meeting with their players, so that way if the players have any questions, concerns, right, I can address those with them. Usually I'll try and bring some of our officers or leads if they just want to listen in, kind of be there, right. I think providing opportunities for players to learn and kind of grow into roles is absolutely fantastic. And that's something that we're really big on in 79, is allowing kind of our members of our management team, people that want to step up, even if you're just a member and you want to step up into a department to help out, right? There's opportunities to shadow, to learn, to kind of have those coaching opportunities where even if you end up leaving 79 or you want to kind of go start something off on your own, you can take away these good practices, right? And there's a lot of knowledge and experience that we're able to provide. So again, if you're a player, if you're a group, Again, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I lead migration for 79, again, because we do it as a server, not as individual alliances. That's the biggest difference. And again, you can find my Discord information in the description. I believe in the pinned comment as well. And again, if you want to text, if you want to voice, but just not able to voice, and just type, that again, that's no problem. More than happy to speak to one person, your entire leadership team, people that want to be present, do something do another meeting for a bigger group. Again, anything and everything is definitely doable. And so that pretty much, I think, kind of covers it. We're excited to see how the next season of migration recruitment goes. And for those that are interested in 79, again, there will also be a migration application. That'll be in the pinned comment and, I believe, description of the video as well. That's it for me. Until next time, we'll catch y'all later.